Hello everyone, Suzanne Knabe-Nicole here from Police Science Doctor with your weekly dose of police science snippets. It's number 238 today, and these police science snippets, for those who don't know, are little bits of research and academic information, police science, that has recently been published that I think is something you can integrate into your roles. Obviously, you've got a number of different roles. You're watching from all over the world, and I really appreciate your feedback and your comments and your emails. Which say that you really find these snippets useful. So I'm going to keep doing them. I talk about them here on Tuesdays on LinkedIn and other social media outlets, and I also send them straight into your inbox with a link to the original research article. If you want to have those, and when you get onto the email list, you'll also get the password to the site, to the page on the Police Science Doctor website, namely the read page that holds all the previous PDFs of the police science snippets so far. So obviously, if these three that I'm going to talk about today are not actually related to your job, you'll probably find something in all the previous weeks, in the 237 previous weeks that I've been doing this, to help in your job. So the first one for today, let me just put the banner in there so you can see what it's about. The first one for today is about spatial structure of crime. This study combines four core concepts: spatial concentration, spatial dependence, spatial clustering, and sigma-beta convergence into a cohesive framework for analyzing crime patterns and processes. Results indicate that extreme victimization has remained confined to a small fraction of blocks, while lower intensity crime has expanded more broadly. This seems related to the concept of the power few, which states that it's usually a small number of either offenders, victims, or locations that cause or attract a large number of crimes. So this seems to be the case for extreme violent crimes, not those crimes of lower intensity. So I thought that was quite interesting, potentially to analysts and investigators. The next snippet is about informal social control. And sorry, to add to the previous one about the power few, what your analysts need to do is to identify those areas where you have the highest concentration, in this case of extreme violence, and put your police interventions there. Right. Second snippet, informal social control. When do guardians, that's the informal social control, or punishment deter offending? This study found that potential offenders with high regard for the welfare of others were unlikely to offend regardless of the threat of punishment. The pronounced interaction between deterrence and regard for others is notable because the main effect of regard for others is far larger than the main effect of the threat of punishment. So what we need to work on is developing and nurturing people's regard for others, empathy, social and emotional skills. That is something that we should be focusing on from when people are babies, preschool, kindergarten, school, and so on. So this should be a high priority when it comes to developing and working with humans. Then we would have far less crime, because if you have regard for others, it's not the punishment that deters you from offending against people, it is that regard for others. So that's what we need to develop further. Again, crime is only a symptom of what has gone wrong because other things did not go right. And crime is not the actual problem, it's a symptom. That's how I see it. Although crime is, of course, a symptom, but it is of course, a problem, but it follows on from other failures beforehand. And the last snippet for today is about AI report writing. This study examines patrol officer and supervisor perceptions of an artificial intelligence tool to assist with officer report writing. I had another study about 2 weeks ago about AI report writing. This study found that 48% of officers in the experimental group reported time savings. Supervisors perceived noticeable improvements in report quality, completeness, and writing efficiency. This article is actually open access, which means that, and the previous one on informal social control as well, which means you can click on the link that I sent you in the email and you can access and read the entire research article. So that was it for today. Hopefully something will be of interest to you. As I said, if it's not because your role is not related to that, don't worry. If you're on the email list, you will have received your password to access the read page, and you can go through all the previous PDFs with the snippets. So thanks for paying attention, and I'll speak to you again next time. Stay safe and make good decisions. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.